Hi everybody, here is Nico from the Spadone project. In this video I'm going to review the new Regenyei Two-handed trainer number 3, which is sent to me some months ago for a first impression. The sword is 1.58 meter long with 1.18 meter of blade. The handle-blade ratio is 1:3, which suits Montante's proportion according to what Pacheco de Narvaez wrote in his treatise. It weighs a little more than 2 kilos, which puts it into the light side of big two-handed swords. In my opinion, this trainer fits particularly well for guys and girls who want to start practicing Montante regulars and at the same time have a tool for a bit of safe sparring. If you do not like nylon and you do not have a high budget, this might be your kind of sword. The point of balance is set 14 cm from the hilt at the paring leg's height, which is good because it suits other original Spadoni I have the opportunity to analyze personally in some Italian museums. If compared to other Montantes or Spadoni handled in the past, the sword feels light and gives you the possibility to practice dual techniques which are way harder to perform with heavier blades. If you are tall enough to have the sword above your shoulder height, this seems to be a good tool to practice marots. The mix of weight and forward balance is very interesting. It is light enough to be more practical than heavier Spadoni, but still enough heavy to force you to change drastically your classic feather sparring approach. With a sword like this, when you put on full gear, every movement drains much energy and you end up considering carefully every single action. You start to move the sword with the whole body and try to use momentum to reduce the muscle effort. At the same time, you start to rely more on your stepping for defense because often, as funny as it might sound, in this context, the legs are faster than the swords. In my opinion, this is not a sword flaw, it is a quality, and you might be curious about it. In fact, this trainer has some good historical properties which might help us understand deeper the kind of Renaissance dynamics going on with two-handed swords duels during Marozzo's age. Of course, the sword fits well for arming techniques, and the ricasso is long enough to grab it even with big gauntlets. In this video I won't spend many words about Montante solo drill handling, as I have not much to say about it in regard of this trainer. It feels good as other big swords do, and you can practice Iberian masters such as Figueiredo, Godinho or other personal drills with no particular issue. Being a bit shorter and lighter than the average Montante or Spadone makes it less stressful for your body joints, and the absence of guard rings makes it more easy to handle. But in the end, these are just subjective preferences and you may like them or not. For what concerns safety, even though I expected it to be less forgiving on cutting actions due to mass and length, the only thing I feel to really point out are thrusts. The most evident issue is with stiffness, as the blade does not bend really much and you could find yourself in some unwanted dangerous situation due to strong thrusts to the head or the chest. The problem is partially balanced by the fact that the weight of the trainer forces you to a slower fight pace and classic lightning long-zone thrusts have no place there at all. As some sparring tests seem to prove, a bit of common sense is enough to fight with actual intention and avoiding any occasional damage worse than the usual long-zone ones. Even though other producers have put similar trainers on the market, this is the longest one, and probably Regenyei Armory has chosen the right weight for the most interesting kind of sparring experience. If you are not looking for the classic longsword dynamics and you want to experiment a fresh new take on Marozzo style, this is probably what suits you. In my opinion, until something more flexible comes out, this is gonna be the best product for this kind of practice. Putting all of this aside, on a subjective level, I found it a really fun experience, and I was happy to find a tool that is able to open a new perspective on dual fighting. The general feathers trend goes towards light models that, aside from length maybe, have more to do with what we would expect from a medieval longsword. So I am glad that finally someone is beginning to look more into what suits better some of the Renaissance masters like Marozzo and Pietromonte. So, thank you Regenyei Armory. And that's all. I hope you enjoyed this video, thank you for watching, and do not forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for future big sword related contents. If you are a sword maker and you would like me to review your Spadone or montante, I will be happy to give you my opinion, so feel free to contact me via PM on my Facebook page, The Spadone Project.